Okay, here we are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to this Thursday's sharing of Harmonize2Energize. We've had a bit of a break, a bit of a postponement, but hopefully you all got the calendar reminder of what's coming. And today, of course, we have our special guest, Susanne Hugo. So welcome, Susanne. I'm going to hop it in a minute, but before I do, welcome everybody and anyone who's brand new to the art of JIN SHIN JYUTSU. My name is Terry Matthews, and I've been sharing the art of self-help JIN SHIN JYUTSU on this platform, which I called Harmonize2Energize, or H2E for short, for the past 5 years. It's been my pleasure and privilege. JIN SHIN JYUTSU is an art of harmonizing the life energy as it moves through various pathways in our bodies. These pathways move up and down, left and right through the body, and their movement and the amount of energy that they allow through is adjusted by what Mary Burmeister called safety energy locks. Now, Mary Burmeister was the teacher that brought, or master, that brought the art of JIN SHIN JYUTSU to the world from Japan. She spent time in Japan during the Second World War. She married an American that she met in Japan, who was serving in Japan at the time in the Navy, Gil Burmeister. She came back to America because she was born in Seattle, Washington. She's an American citizen, but they moved to California, Burbank, California. And I'm told it was actually in the 50s that Mary began bringing out the knowledge of JIN SHIN JYUTSU into her local area. I thought it was the 70s, but I'm told no. And apparently she wrote her first textbook. It was published in 1966. So for anyone who's interested in the art, there are self-help books. There's 3 of them here, and there are courses to study to become a practitioner. You'd have to look up the website www.JSJSMB for the recent conglomeration of the JIN SHIN JYUTSU instructors in the world, or JSJINC.org, or is it no .net? It's been a while. I used to work for them, but it's been a while. And you can find out more about the art of JIN SHIN JYUTSU. Okay, so I think I've said enough, maybe too much. So I'm going to skedaddle and welcome Susanne, and let's hear the gift that Susanne brings to us today.
Oh, thank you so much, Terry, and welcome everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you're looking from, I hope you don't have it as hot as we have, and if you have, you feel comfortable. I'm really honored and glad to be here tonight, and my subject is the neck. I do mainly teach self-help, and recently I prepared a class for myself, for my group, and yeah, and I found the neck very, very fascinating. Before we start, I would like to invite you to do a very tiny exercise, and that is turn your head to the right and remember how far you reach, and turn your head to the left and see how far you can reach. And then at the end of the lesson, we try again. We see if your range of vision has improved. Now, the neck is a very, very special area of the body, and we hardly think about it unless it hurts us, which doesn't do it really enough justice. When you look about at the neck and you put your hand in your neck, you can see it's like it's made for your hand, and actually it has the size of your hand. Carries your head. It hurts when you type too much, so you can actually feel the connection between the neck and the shoulders. You might feel stiff. Well, I hope by the end of the lesson you will feel more relaxed. And when I prepared it, the first thing that came to my mind was, strangely enough, Humphrey Bogart, and I want to show it to you. My hero. I think you all know him from Casablanca, and see how he stands there. He's smoking, he's very quiet, he is observing, and he is stiff. Yeah. And his famous saying is, I don't stick my head out for nobody. So when you stand like this, when you don't stick your head out for nobody, well, everybody else can have the room, everybody else can play, but you can't, because you're stiff and you're a little bit out of range. So in order to be alive and to enjoy life, we need to be able to bend our neck, to move our neck, to move our head, to have vision, to stick our neck out, to get involved. And I wanted to show you, no? And now, of course, yeah. When you look at all these wonderful muscles, these strengths that is in there, it's actually a physiological miracle. A lot of the muscles start here at our jawbone, and then over the jawbone, over the neck, they connect to the rest of our body. Isn't that great? Yeah, and it has so much strength in it, and so much potential, and so much flexibility, if we are able. I mean, I always admire these Indian dancers, you know, who are able. It's a very, very bad imitation of what they can do. I love it when they shake their head. I never really tried, but it's great. And when you get older, like many of us do, and then suddenly you feel, yeah, can't reach my shoulder anymore, can't really watch out. It feels very uncomfortable. That's from the physiological point of view. From the JIN SHIN JYUTSU point of view, the neck is a real powerhouse. It consists of 7 cervical vertebrae, and the first one, well, the second one is like this, and then the first one goes around like this, and it actually has 2 little platforms on it, and this is where your head lies on. So it's like a V-shaped little angel form. It's great. It's so amazing when you look how nature has constructed this whole thing. And I love this picture because it shows the light and the energy that is going through our vertebra. And vertebra in German is a very fascinating word because it's called Wirbelsäule. And Säule is a pillar, and Wirbelsäule is, wirbel means a whirl. So it's a whirl of energy confined in a pillar. But it's not straight and it's not unbendable. It's flexible, it's movable, and that's the energy that is within. And we can actually access this energy. We can improve our level of energy, and this is such an amazing gift that we have. Now, when we look at it, when you look at the answer sheet, for those of you who have taken 5-day classes, for the others, well, it may be an incentive to take a 5-day class. We connect the vertebra with the solar system. and to be specific, with a Ptolemaic, very difficult word, Ptolemaic solar system. And our cervical vertebra number 1 is related to Saturn and to first depths. So we start at the outer rim of the system, and the first depth is also our frontier, our border, because it's the skin. And then it moves on slowly, and in the center we have the sun, which is at cervical vertebra number 4. And then the closest to the body is the last vertebra, and that's the moon. So we really have the whole universe in our body, and in the answer sheet we call it the way from the unmanifested to the manifested. And when you look at it physiologically, our brain rules our body function, our brain rules our emotion, and all this information from the brain has to go down into the body to be transformed into action. So this is our main channel. So we should really pay attention and try to have it free, to keep it free. And when luckily I see some of you with a camera on, that is very nice, so I'm not completely lost. When you put your hand in your neck, when you just feel it, isn't it amazing that the neck really is the size of your hand? Have you ever noticed? And when you do when you put both hands together and you form a ball, you know that the size of your personal energy lock. Yeah? They grow with us, they're in different size for everybody. And when you hold that to your neck, yeah, you find that the diameter of the safety energy lock really is from front to back to the neck. So although they are located in the back, they cover actually back and front. So this is a whole, it's like an energy source. Yeah, it's not only a battery, it's really a fuel cell, it's a living fire. And I wanted to show you that. When I drew up this picture, I was lucky because there was this hand, so I was able to do it to size. See how these energy locks that are located in the neck are really overlapping each other. And you can, unless you really use only one finger, you cannot touch one only. And there you can see that with one little touch, you reach basically all of them, and you bring all of them into action, and you bring all of them into fluid movement. Did you ever realize that these safety energy locks were so much overlapping and intermingling? I didn't before I did this presentation, and I was really, really fascinated by it. And Mary gave them wonderful names. Mary called them, pardon, the weaving princess, thy will be done, and unburden yourself. So this brings, can you see, oh, sorry, can you see that? The measuring intelligence and the weaving princess admitting light and air into our body. Isn't that a wonderful gift that we have? And supporting the four means supporting the trust in yourself that you get what you need, that you have everything you need. Because when safety energy lock 4 is open, the energy is really distributed just in the way you need it. That may be different to other people's need, but you get what you need, and it's all inside you, and you don't need any extra. Isn't that wonderful? And actually that was the first safety energy lock where I remembered the meaning, because I loved Weaving Princess so much. This picture appealed so much to me. And not my will, but thy will. Number 12 in the middle. This is where the sun is. So the sun is always shining, and we are subject to the rhythm of nature, and we have to adapt to the rhythm of nature. And when we live against our rhythm, over long, we get sick. But I never really liked that thy will be done. It has been so often abused, and you have to do this, you have to do this, God's will is this, other people's will is this, you have to, you have to, you have to. No, thy will be done. I interpret it now as, yeah, there is a flow, there's a rhythm of life, and I can trust in that. And when I trust in that, and when I give myself into that, I will live a happy and fulfilled life. I don't need all these struggling. I need to make efforts. I have to adapt, okay. But I can trust the process. And of course, not every day is like that. And there are days when I feel like everything is too much of a burden. And then holding your 12s again and giving yourself into the grace of God, or the grace of the Creator, however you wish to call it, really helps you to have, or to live your life with more easiness. And this is also a great gift. And when you ask why I chose this picture of the juggler, I thought, yeah, thy will be done. Giving yourself into the flow is also seeing opportunities, seeing visions, and yeah, you don't have to carry them all, although you have many obligations and you have to juggle, but you can find your way. And if you trust yourself to the universe, you find the right way. I think that's important, and that's a challenge for all of us. And this is the safety energy lock that makes it easier for us. A great gift. Yeah, and number 11. On our shoulders, the yoke, the burden, the excess baggage. Oh, I mean, we all know it. When you're typing all the time, your shoulders get hard. An aunt of mine actually had this widow's hump. When you are too much, when there's too much sorrow, when there's too much sadness, when there's too much not letting go, it really builds up in your shoulders, in your 11th, and you get a hump, and then you're a hunchback. And on the other hand, the yoke is carrying, you see, you can unburden yourself because you can get rid of the yoke, right? And we do that by applying our hands. I think we have the easiest way, or one very easy way of getting rid of excess baggage, and I love it. And what all this has to do with the neck and the ability to live? Well, when you struggle, when you carry, when you raise your shoulders, when you're like that, your field of vision is restricted. Yeah? And then you don't see those 3 balls the jugglers were playing anymore. You just see the one who's in front of you. You can't go to the opportunities. I mean, I didn't add safety energy locks number 3, which is the swing door and the alternatives. But when your neck is nice and flexible and bent, and your vision is free, then you can choose. And yeah, I think we should be able to choose. It's our right to do so. Yeah, isn't that fascinating? And now I wanted to show you some exercises that really help. One is fun, And one is highly effective and one works from time to time for me. And I think let's start with a fun one. And that is put your tongue behind your teeth and then touch with the tip of your tongue your gum and press. Look like an idiot, but never you mind, try. It's called tongue to spot, and it's an exercise that is done by spotting people in order to lose tension here in the neck. Because I showed you before, no? A lot of the muscles start here at the cheekbone, and at the gum, there's a nerve connection to the vagus nerve that goes in the back. And by touching your gums with your tongue, you activate this nervous system. So, release of tension here. Another of these neuroscience exercises I found very, very fascinating, and that consisted just of take your hands and turn them 3 times clockwise. 1, 2, 3. And now turn them other direction. 1, 2, 3. And because we have all touched our neck before, our brain knows, okay, this area is in focus, and this exercise helps to release the tension. And the nicest one, that one I practiced for years now and that has helped me most, is please put your finger in front of your nose. And now leave your eyes on your finger and turn your head around your eyes to the right. And come back to the middle. It might feel very, very strange. Many of us are not aware that we can actually turn our head around our eyes. And repeat, just to the right side. And back. And one more time, please. And now we do the same to the left. 1. There's no need to stress, no need to strain. 2. And 3. And now I invite you to turn your head to the right and to the left. And please try to remember, if you can, how far you reach now. And the combination of the 3 has really released tension in the muscles. And if you really, it's so gentle, it's so nice, it's so effective. And this exercise with the eyes, you can do it up and down, of course. And you can do it to the right, and you can do it to the left. And instead of doing these brutal, I turn my head and you really hear your vertebra rubbing against each other. This is a much more gentler way to relax your neck. And I really recommend that to you as a first aid. This can be done at a workplace, it can be done in between. And it's the first step. Okay, but we came here to practice JIN SHIN JYUTSU. And so what can we do from a JIN SHIN JYUTSU perspective? And those of you who have taken all the classes know that the vertebrae are related or have a relationship with fingers. And now that we have loosened the muscles, the energy can flow more freely. So it was a wonderful preparation for holding your fingers. And we start with the thumb. And this is again going from the fingers. We kind of start with the unmanifested to the manifested. And we move to the index finger. And move to the middle finger. And we move to the ring finger. And we move to the pinky. And now we change to the thumb of the other hand. We go to the index finger. We go to the middle finger. The ring finger. And we go to the little finger. And now we bring our hands together. And now we fold our fingers. The other version of the prayer position. You can even, if you want to, you can bring your thumbs together. Oh, I hope you can see that. I can't see myself at the moment. And when you do that for yourself, you can very nicely combine it with a 36 breaths by taking 3 breaths, 3 breaths, 3 breaths for each finger, 3 breaths for the folded hands like that, supporting the exhale, and 3 breaths like this, supporting the inhale, and bringing as such harmony to your whole being. And Mary actually gave a lot of self-help. Terry is going to mention where you can find that later on for the neck. And the one she repeated most often was to put both hands in the neck. I turn my arm. So you go with your middle finger to the middle of your neck where you can feel your vertebra. And then you just feel a little bit backwards, and there you feel actually very comfortable. It's before the muscles. You don't want to go out all the way. It's just gently and happily resting your fingers in the middle. And just visualize these wonderful 6 safety energy logs that you're supporting with energy, that are your wonderful bottlenecks, that the energy may move into your body, that brings all the light, the air, the knowledge, the measuring intelligence, the absolute perfect distribution of all what you need inside your body. And you support all this by simply holding your neck and relaxing. Another way a lot of people who have no idea about JIN SHIN JYUTSU are doing is they actually fold the hand and then place them like this in the neck. And then they take a nice stretch and lean back. And that's also a great way you can give the weight of your neck and your head. You can give it safely and trustingly in your hands. Oh. Next way, I realize it's getting a little bit stressful for the shoulders, but bear with me for a little while more, is put your right hand in the neck, just like that, and the left hand on your front. And this is something, when I prepared for the class, I tried very often. This I find so soothing and relaxing. It really calms the mind. Of course, the knowledgeable among you know that's the first step of a flow. But it's just a wonderful, nice way of supporting you, accessing your inner wisdom by opening the 20s, so that thy will can be done and recognized, and enabling you to go with the flow. And we repeat that with the other hand in the neck and the other hand on the front. And just when you do that, you will realize probably that one side is more comfortable than the other. stick with the side you're more comfortable with. Jin Shin Jutsu is all about feeling good. And relax. And now we come to the last one with the neck. The other one Mary gave us was again to put the hand in the neck and to place the other one on the coccyx. Thus, you're supporting the bases and the top of your spine, giving the energy flow in your spine a boost. Again, stretch a little bit. And now we come to our wonderful supervisor. That is the other self-help she gave. And there she moves away directly from the neck and goes to the shoulder. And we start with the left side. So we place the right hand on our left shoulder. And we go with our left hand to safety energy lock 25. Basically, we sit on our hand. I forgot the name of the bone. I'm sorry. Unburden yourself. Deep relaxation. And what always attracted me to this position was that it was called jogging for lazy people. So this not only relaxes the shoulders, helps you to regenerate, it also builds up muscles and maintains muscles. So we are nourishing and supporting the left side of our body. And with an exhale, we change. We put the left hand on the right shoulder and sit on the right hand. And now we give love and support to the right side of our body. Then relax and put your left hand on your right knee and your right hand on your left elbow. I hope you can say it. This is a quickie for the mediator. So we have supported our center, we have supported our core, we have supported the middle, we have supported the left side, we have supported the right side. And now we give the distribution in the body a little boost. And I like that very much, because when you think 4 and 12 is 16, plus 11 is 27, and 27 makes a 9, and 9 is the beginning and the end of a cycle. So with holding the 19, being in our authority, in our own authority, we open the 9s, and by touching the 1s, we renew our connection with ourselves, our unity, and our power for new beginnings. So it's a perfect fit for supporting the neck. We can enhance that a little bit by going one hand up on our leg and in the middle of our upper arm to the high 1 and high 19. The high 1 again the 1 and the high 19, opening the 10, and the 10 living. Actually, I don't know that in English. I think it was the living the abundance of life. So changing sides, we're going with the right hand to the left knee, and with the left hand to our right elbow. And we move to the high 1 and the upper arm, high 19. Thank you. So I hope you feel more energized, a little more flexible, and a little bit renewed from head to toe and from toe to head. And I wanted to end this with Sankt Bogat, who is now into life. You see, he's bending his neck, he's touching his love, he found his love, he's back into life, he's back where he wants to be. And Jin Shin Jutsu is, or can be, the beginning of a wonderful friendship with yourself. So please continue it and befriend yourself every day. It's worth it. Thank you so much. Harry?
I'm here. I was just completely zonked. You know, folks, that was a wonderful presentation because it gave us insights that I personally didn't have, and maybe some of you didn't also, and the practical side of it, because for most of us, our neck and shoulders hold a lot of tension. And I was just like yawning as if it would, you know, stop it going out of fashion. So I really appreciated this whole experience. You know, I feel very strongly that we do tense ourselves far more than we realize in our neck and shoulders. And if you wanted any one set of exercises to do for the next 6 months, you might want to watch this as a replay. That would be my one comment that's coming out right now. So thank you, Susanne. That was just truly, truly wonderful and truly helpful. Whew, yeah. I hope my neck is not. Yeah, it's looser.
Yeah,
Nice
isn't that's
interaction.
amazing?
Pardon?
Isn't that amazing? And I mean, this Feldenkrais exercise with the eyes, I learned that I think like 10 years ago, and it has been with me ever since. And
Yeah.
it has proved so helpful. And I found this addition with the hands and the tongue to spot. I think it's so cute. This is so amazingly effective when you put it all together, and especially if you hold your fingers afterwards, it's a game changer.
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember practicing the one with the tongue in relation to opening up the vagus nerve or vagus nerve, however you pronounce it. But the others I've not come across. I can only assume here we've got links with the muscles and the energy pathways going on simultaneously. Is that your understanding?
There is a lady at LinkedIn who is a trainer, and she is adapting new neuroscience techniques to her training program, and she makes very funny short videos and doing these small exercises in order to relax various parts of the body. And I tried that with the hands, and it was so impressive. I mean, the reason is actually our hands are related to our sensomotoric cortex, right? So our right hand goes to the left hand of the brain, and our left hand goes to our right hand of the brain. And there's a huge, huge area that is connected just to our hands, and an extra big area connected to the thumbs. And when we move the hands, we actually automatically activate our brain.
Yeah.
And neuroscience, and I mean the advanced and techniques and computers and what have you, makes it visible.
Right.
And those top athletes actually are using these techniques to improve themselves.
Right. Well, you know, folks, I've often brought along presenters who show us different additional techniques, if you like, which have got overlapping connections with Jin Shin Jyutsu. So if you're brand new today, don't let that confuse you. As you explore the energy field, you do learn other ways of approaching things, which can be extremely effective too. So for me personally, I love that. I don't close my mind to that. So I appreciate Susanne bringing those techniques into this presentation too. So thank you. That's very helpful. So I want to throw open to the audience. If anybody's got any questions, let's change the view to gallery. All the brave ones that have turned their cameras off. Have any of you got any questions you'd like to pose for Susanne before we draw things to a close? Just raise your paw. Was that you, Monica? Were you raising your paw? I can't hear you. You're muted.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful and so inspiring. Much appreciated.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else got any questions for Susanne? Any comments, any feedback? How do you all feel, those of you that are awake? Good, good. And those of you that are hiding behind your names, any comments? Or are you all laying down? Are you all in the horizontal position? Yeah, or cooking or something? Yeah. Well, Susanne has got some information she gave to me, and I want to share that with you now. So let's begin at the beginning. See if I can. So for those
that
of you,
was just a short summary that whenever you wonder where you find those self-help exercises Mary gave us, I listed them there, including the short version of the umbilicus flow, which we didn't practice today. And there is a newsletter actually in Europe that focuses on neck and shoulders. Terry just told me that it's not the same in the US. Well, but the pictures are the same, and they are on the website of the European office, and you can surely relate with the images. You know that if you have your textbooks, you'll find it there again.
yeah, so for anyone who's new, you need to order the self-help books from JSJSMB. Just write down www.jsmb and Google will take you there, and you can order the self-help books. I believe I knew that when I was finishing up at JSJ Inc., they were selling the textbooks 1 and 2, even if you hadn't studied. I don't know if that's still the case. It may not be, but have a look on their website, and that's where you'll find the self-help umbilicus, text 2, page 31. And yeah, the American version of the newsletter, summer 2016, does not contain neck and shoulder, but the European one probably does. So if you want to take a screenshot or a pic of that, go right ahead right now. You've got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, very good. Susanne, I assume you are organizing this 5-day class with Susan, is that right?
Yes, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
Okay.
Last year, Sarah was here, and it was such a joy and such a special class. And I think Susan, she has her own special style, and it will be an equally wonderful class. And I love it. We have already people from the UK and from the Netherlands attending, so it will be an international class. Yeah. And
Excellent.
I don't mind if there are some Americans coming. Please join us.
Oh, yes. Well, yes.
Well, there are so many on European tours, and maybe they could combine the holidays with a class.
Indeed. Yeah, so everybody again, take a pic or a screenshot. The registration is there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or watch the replay. Or I presume this is on JSJSMB's site. Is that right? It'll be
Yes.
on their website. Okay.
Oh,
So
yes.
yeah, you can go and look on the site. Now, this is something that Susanne does personally. Over to you, Susanne.
Yeah, every first Monday of the month, I do practice all the 8 JIN SHIN JYUTSU mudras in 1.5 hours, and it's so wonderful. And I'm so happy because some of my participants are already joining from their bed. So it's definitely relaxing. You sleep wonderfully afterwards. Well, I'm doing it in German, but you know all your mudras, and well, if I find enough interested people, I would also do it in English.
Yeah, and for those of you that are new, Self-Help Book 3 or Textbook 1 contain the mudras. Interestingly enough, I'll just give this little tidbit. They're not the complete set of mudras that Jiro Marai practiced, but they are mudras that Mary chose to have in those particular books. I don't know. I've never seen the complete set of all the mudras that Jiro Marai was the master that taught Mary Burmeister JIN SHIN JYUTSU. But these mudras are very, very effective. And if you just practice them alone, you're covering every depth and every safety energy lock, every organ function energy, every vertebrae in the body in relation to the understanding of JIN SHIN JYUTSU. So that would be something you might want to connect with Susanne further. And here are Susanne's contact details. So if you want to take a quick screenshot of that code there, or just get your phone and focus it on there and it'll take you somewhere else, do whatever, but maybe wait till you look at the replay. And there's her email. There's the website. And the screenshots, Care of Casablanca. That is a wonderful movie. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, yeah, it's time I reviewed that. I used to watch it on average, maybe once a year. I totally love the movie, totally love Humphrey Bogart. And so that was a nice reminder too. I hadn't thought about it in relation to his neck and what he said in the movie, but I will relate to that now. So, okay, let's just... Here we are back again. So, has anyone come up with any questions or any feedback since that slight digression, if you like? Anyone got any thoughts? Yeah, I know it was a lot of experience, a lot of energetic experience, which is wonderful, and a lot of very useful information, particularly in relation to the Now Know Myself page there, with the neck and the relationship of the overlapping connections between the safety energy locks. I hadn't thought of it in that way, I must say, but that was a great observation. So thank you for that. So unless anybody suddenly thought of any question. Oh, Nancy, there you go.
Yes, everything you said, I agree. Originally, I agree 1,000% to. It was so relaxing. I was in another place as Terry was, but I noticed that my jaw released while we were working on the different things. It was great. Thank you so much. I will definitely incorporate this into my daily routine.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Well, thank you, Susanne. It was a wonderful presentation with a lot of information that was very useful and in my case, very new, and for the practices too. Again, folks, those of you that are new, the self-help books are available. Just go online to JSJSMB, or actually www.JINSHINJYUTSU.net. I think David Burmeister still sells all the books too. And for those of you that come on regularly to Harmonize2Energize, we postponed the last one with Beth Landrum on mental and emotional, harmonizing mental and emotional anxieties. And so that is coming up next Thursday. Beth will be joining me, and so we'll be presenting that then. In fact, September is going to be quite a busy one. 2 weeks after that, we've got Jenny Swazicki with myself, and we're going to be presenting on accidents and using JIN SHIN JYUTSU to help harmonize any situation which was accidental. And then the last Thursday, we're going to have Thais Shabela talking about relationships of the tarot with JIN SHIN JYUTSU. So quite a full month, not the usual, because now we only do 2 a month, the second and last Thursday of the month, but we're doing a catch-up. So thank you again, Susanne. Thank you, everybody, for coming. The replay will be up between now and 48 hours from now. And take a look again. I know I'm certainly going to be looking again at this one. New knowledge in many ways for me. So take care, everybody. I will stop the recording now. Ding.